Hello everybody and welcome back to the HLTCO YouTube channel. It is Monday and to be honest, when I woke up this morning I didn't actually know what I was going to record a YouTube video on today. I had a couple of different ideas that were floating around, but in the process of doing my notes for the two podcasts that I record Monday to Friday, the Palace and the General Football podcast, I was laying there on my bed. I get up at, this is a bit of a personal insight into my life, but you know, it sort of helps the narrative of why we have reached this point with today's YouTube video. I was laying there on my bed. I wake up at 5:45 Monday to Friday, do notes till 7:30. That's just my general pattern, and then I record 7:30 till 8:30. And I was scrolling through Twitter in a little brief moment away from compiling the notes, and I saw a tweet that was sent by the Pink'un. I believe it was published yesterday afternoon. It concerned a Norwich fan who was called Nathan West, and he was given the opportunity to speak about Norwich, his thoughts ahead of their game against Millwall, and also the fact that the Lionesses were playing in the World Cup final against Spain at 11 o'clock. And he clearly was not 100% comfortable in front of the camera, but he got in front of the camera, he spoke openly about his view of the game. He actually predicted a comfortable win for Norwich with Johnny Rowe scoring a goal and a clean sheet, and he was very, very close to that prediction coming off. Norwich ended up winning the game comfortably. Johnny Rowe did score, and they find themselves flying at the moment at the top end of the Championship table. But that's sort of beside the point, because Nathan himself, clearly, as I just mentioned, was not 100% comfortable in front of the camera, but he got himself out early to Carrow Road. He was going to, as he said in the video, watch the first half of the England women's final in the bar before taking his seat at Carrow Road for the first half of the Norwich Millwall game and listening to the rest of the England game on his headphones. All perfectly normal. And he was chatting away about his view of the game. The comments underneath this video turned my stomach, because there is this odd thing with social media, and we all know it exists. It's all part and parcel of the way that Twitter works. In one way, it's why it's such a successful thing, because so many people are minded. It's almost like rubbernecking a car crash. Whenever anything is going on, you will always have numerous people giving a wide variety of opinions on everything. But in this particular instance, you've got Nathan, a guy that is just there to watch the football and give his perspective on camera, and there were just so many horrible comments, trolls, people without their face on their profile, calling him all sorts of disgusting things and making unnecessary jokes about his appearance, about the way that he spoke. I just couldn't get my head around it, and it's not as though I feel some sort of special link to him because of my own disability and everything else. It's just a human level horrible thing to witness. And I was laying there, and all of a sudden, my frustration and anger towards this situation went from 0 to 100, because I just felt incredibly bothered by it. I can't really explain how else to put it. It was just something that felt so unnecessary for a guy that was just out enjoying his day and took a couple of minutes to speak to the Pink'un about his views of the game in prospect. And I tweeted something along the lines of, "Top man, hope he enjoys the win," or "I hope he enjoyed the win. You know, these people who were trolling him wouldn't have the balls to get in front of the camera," etc, etc. And then I thought to myself, well, hang on, let me see if I can find out a little bit more about this guy. And underneath the original Pink'un tweet, there was a link to a fundraising page, because Nathan is running a half marathon to raise money for Macmillan Cancer Research. And I just thought, well, even then, you've got a guy who not only is minding his own business and going about his life happily and just giving his opinion, he's also the kind of guy that will run a half marathon to raise money for cancer research. Like, it's just beggars belief that he would be subjected to this sort of bio-online trolling that exists in modern society. So I sent a tweet out that said, look, the only reason I saw this tweet this morning was because people were trolling Nathan. He happens to be running a half marathon for charity. Here's the link. I believe when I tweeted it, it was on around 1,400, 1,500 quid. And at the time of recording this, let me just check so I get an accurate representation. It's currently at £9,433. Now, I'm not suggesting that I've done that. Obviously, social media, it catches things like wildfire, and more people see it, more and more people feel moved to donate, more and more people feel moved to share it, and quite rightly so. But I just wanted to record this video really to shine a light on the good and bad and the extremes that exist when it comes to social media and football Twitter specifically, because to me this is the perfect blossoming of a situation out of something truly horrible. And it showcases both sides of the argument, because on one hand, we all know football Twitter is a vile place a lot of the time. There are faceless accounts on there that will just spew abuse towards people because they feel like it, because they've got empty lives, because they haven't got anything going on themselves. But those words still hurt, and I can speak from personal experience, as someone who has been on the end of anti-disabled comments before. It really does stick up here and stays in your brain, unless, from my perspective, I get it out into the open now and tell people when I get this sort of comment. But, from my perspective, you look at this situation with Nathan, I think his initial target was just £500 and he's now closing in on 10 grand. It's just a fantastic story. And for my money, you look at society in general, and we always say this, everyone knows it's a cliche, but it's true. The loudest people are always the people who've got negative stuff to say. The silent majority, as they exist, will tend to sort of wish you well and think, oh, fair play to that guy. And they go about their lives because they're not consumed with trying to poke fun or make jokes at people's expense, because they've got their own stuff to worry about. But occasionally, if you peel back that lid in some fashion, you can unleash the power of the silent majority in a positive sense. And it really feels this morning as though Nathan's Just Giving page and the raising of money for Macmillan Cancer Support has really done that, because I don't know how he feels about it specifically. I haven't spoken to him. There is a guy, Chris Reeve, a Norwich fan, who I believe sort of got the ball rolling in terms of telling people about this Just Giving page yesterday, and I happened to see it, as I say, because of the Pinken tweet underneath their initial video of Nathan. But it really does just highlight that if you can reach a bigger number of people, you can have something beautiful come out of something horrible. And that, I suppose, is social media in a nutshell. I don't want to relate it too much to me, because obviously this is Nathan's thing, but I feel, or have felt over the last couple of hours, compelled to share it and compelled to bang the drum, because one, I want him to get as much money as he possibly can, because he's doing something incredibly selfless and worthy of our respect, and two, because it just is one in the eye for every miserable person that wants to poke fun at somebody because of their appearance or the way they speak. Because what is it with social media? Where have we got to as a society where someone who is just minding his business, going about his day to watch his team play a game of football, comes home and no doubt is, scrolling through Twitter and seeing those comments, and even if he has got an incredibly thick skin, it would get the most, resilient person in the world down. It does, because the judgment of thousands of people is something that is very, very hard to contemplate. And people always say, take the majority of positive comments over the negative ones, but speaking from personal experience, that is very hard. But you've got a tangible financial benefit to this right here. So if you can spare any money whatsoever, please do go to that Just Giving page that Nathan has set up. Please do donate whatever you can, because it's going to a truly fantastic cause, and it would be helping someone out who seems to be the most purest of souls. Obviously I had no personal relationship with Nathan prior to this morning, as I dare say everyone watching this didn't, but that is the power of social media and the beauty of it when it works as it should, which is, being given the ability via a number of retweets or a number of shares to actually get a message out that is worthy of everyone's attention, rather than the bile that has been spewed in Nathan's direction. And it really does feel like the good and bad, the white and dark, it just is the perfect embodiment of everything good that can come from social media. So I wanted to record this video just to really jump on that again. I want Nathan to get as much money as he possibly can for Macmillan, and I want him to understand, and I'm sure he already does, but I want him to really, really feel the love today, because that's what it's all about at the end of the day. You've got a guy that is truly selfless, going out there and doing something for other people. And in the face of such horrible comments coming his way, it's horrible on every level. So I'm not going to ramble on any longer. I just wanted to come on here really and give my perspective on it, because it truly moved me this morning. I'm laying there in bed minding my own business, and it hit me like a ton of bricks. And I suppose, in a way, that's exactly what social media should be used for in its purest sense. And I'm glad that Nathan found his way onto my timeline, and I'm able to bring him and his story to you now via YouTube. So if you can, do go to that link. It will be in the description below. If you can as well, give this video a like, push the subscribe button. As I say, every video that I record now, I'm trying as best as I can to grow this channel organically, and hopefully we will get up and up and up the subscriber numbers as times go by. But other than that, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll speak to you again soon. Cheers.